thing that Biden did while he is still here in office. So this is what we want to make sure that we are taking care of our business. Just got to be careful, got to be watchful, make sure everything is on the up and up, and see that they are doing what they're supposed to do. How are we doing, Renee?
We're doing great. Okay, we're doing great because we have a show already prepared for today. One of the things that is important is that we need to make sure that we stay in communications with our legislators. Okay, they need to know our agenda. All right, they need to know that what is important in our community. And Calvin, I'm glad to see that you're back because I did miss you badly.
I saw the show from last week, and I saw that you missed me.
Okay.
Yeah.
We are a team. And one of the things that I kept showing and sharing with our listeners is this book, the Constitution. The Constitution is what none of those repugs want to agenda or to follow. They want to do their own thing, be in their own world. But it's important that we know what the rules of this country are. And one of the things, okay, that I didn't get to do, and I didn't get to do because now we got things going on health wise that we're being exposed to. One minute you're sick, the next minute I'm sick.
I know.
And the thing also is that the Constitution tells you that people who are participants of an insurrection or trying to have a coup, trying to overthrow the government, they right now should not be serving in a legislative environment.
You're right.
Okay, and that is in the Constitution. So now they're swearing in some did over the weekend. They're swearing into this Constitution, to the Constitution, that they're going to abide by it. However, this past Friday, and I spoke about it on the Monday when you weren't here, that it's the second anniversary to the insurrection where they tried to overthrow the government. And one of the things that we have to make sure that we understand is that we had 7 people from who were Republicans.
And realistic enough to know.
We had 7 people here in our government, okay, in our North Carolina, who did not stand up, okay, to certify the election. And there were 147, I believe it was, and I'm going to go back to my old notes because this is something, Calvin, that I've been talking about, is that we need to make sure that we understand who is representing us in government. And we had people, and I'm going to call out their names once I'm able to bring them up on the screen, who did not certify the election here from North Carolina, meaning that they did not believe that President Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, and they stood with the insurrectionists. The fact that they did not certify the election, and this is where it started. And now here it is, we have all of these people in our legislative government, Calvin, who are supposed to be representing the people. Well, what people are they going to represent when they did not even do the basics?
Well, okay. You're so right, Renee, and that's the thing. What happened is people say, well, the people in Washington are not doing their job. But if we voted on them, then how can you say they're not doing their job? What happened is they come back to their community, and now it's one-on-one. So the people in the community like this individual, so they're going to vote for him. But now when they get back to Washington, they say, well, the people in Washington are not doing their job. But how can they do their job? You keep putting the same old people back there that are not doing what they're supposed to do. They don't represent everyone. They should be representing everyone, but they're not. They should be representing me just like they're representing you. However, they only represent certain people. I can remember when we went to see a Republican, he was having a debate with someone, and he said that he would never vote with a Democrat. He would never do anything to support a Democrat, even if he thought they were right. So how can you vote for someone like that? Sometimes you have to compromise. It's not always about me. Sometimes it's about us. And when it's about us, then we have to make a compromise sometimes, Renee.
We the people, we the Black people, we are always compromising. Okay, but however, certain people will never compromise. They will never look at Black people as being whole people because it's in their genetics, it's in their system to always look at Black people as being people who are not people. Okay, so we're always coming from a lower, and I'm feeling so frustrated because how do you have 15 votes, 15 times people voting for a candidate, okay, or voting for this man, okay, and then he gives away the house, and now what are we supposed to do?
Well, see, and that's the thing right there. What happens? The new Congress leader now. And how many concessions did he have to make? That's what we don't know.
Oh, no, he was bold. He was bold enough to let us know what he was giving up, how he was giving up the house.
But see, I didn't hear that part. I watched a lot of it, but I didn't see that one. And it took 15 rounds for him to get that vote. That's, Renee, that nothing happened like that since 1859 or 1858. The last time something like that happened.
I don't know that history, okay, but if you say so, Calvin, okay.
Well, I say so. I don't know a lot, but I know a little bit.
I mean, I need to. We all need to be frustrated, okay. We all need to have this anger, but then we need to mobilize, all right, to let people know that we are not allowing the craziness to go on in our country.
Well, that's the thing. We say, well, why are they allowing it? Some of those people that was there should have been in jail already, but they're not in jail. Matt Gaetz, for instance, look at him. He's still around, still right there in the Congress, and he I don't even think he's been charged for anything. Yet they investigated him and found out what he have done with young people, young girls, but nothing has happened yet. So it's allegedly until something happened, until he's arrested or something. It's always allegedly. So this is what we're talking about. And then he almost got into a physical fight with another member the other night. So it's very heated. We want to make sure that everyone, stay tuned. And if you want to give us a call right here at 252-756-2008. You can be part of the conversation with Renee and Calvin right here at Awesome Radio.
And Calvin, the thing also is that again, we're doing our best. That's all I can say. We're doing our best. It's not funny, but the other part of it is that we are in action. Okay, we are not reactive people that in the sense that we're going to sit up there and draw arms and defend ourselves, but we have a voice in the community. Okay, and our voice is that if you have a disagreement with us, feel free to give us a call at 252-756-2008. Your voice is just as important to us, and we need to make sure that you're heard. Okay, and that's what we're doing. We're making sure that we make sure that we talk and we speak on people.
Well, that's what we're doing. We're speaking to people. We have quite a few listeners out there, but we also have many people that listen to us far away. New York, New Jersey, Atlanta, Florida, all over, California even, all over. And then we also send the show out to different individuals at the end. So we have quite a few listeners, but, back to McCarthy, I don't understand how he can face anyone, especially his family, giving up his backbone. Sometimes we just have to, stretch our backbone and be strong about our convictions. But for just to be a Speaker of the House, to give up everything, that you stand for, if you listen to him when the January 6th happened, he was talking very negative about Trump. Then a week or two later, what happened? He goes down to Mar-a-Lago and kissed the ring, and he's been bending over ever since. So that is what is going on with him. So someone like him can't be trusted. He don't have any power, as a Speaker of the House. There's not going to be any power that he have because everyone else going to be telling him what to do and how to do it and when to do it. That's just the way he's going to be. And not only that, but, how can someone want to have a position and have no power in that position? Just be, it reminds me of Herschel Walker, when he was running. He was being told what to do, what to say, and how to say it, and he was messing that up. So again, that's what's going to happen right here with McCarthy. He's going to be so bad until someone's going to say, well, we want you to resign. And it just takes one person to say that. And then they're going to be a call for vote. And then he's going to be out. And then they're going to have to go through this whole process all over again. That's what is going to happen. You just remember you heard that right here at Austin Radio with Renee and Calvin Boston Hill. Right
Okay.
here.
All righty. So Calvin, we didn't talk about health. We always talk about the CDC and their reports on how people are still dying and people are still getting sick. Not only did you get your flu shot?
No, I didn't get my flu shot yet. Did you get yours?
I'm waiting to see the reaction that you have before I get mine. Okay, don't play me, Calvin.
You're trying to put me out there, but that's okay. Look, I had a very bad cold last week.
Yeah.
It wasn't the flu, but when I get a cold of anything, what I do, first thing I do is test myself for the COVID and make sure it's not COVID. And I tested myself and it wasn't COVID. And then we were good to go after that. I stayed in bed one day, and after that, I was good to go after that.
And how did I take care of you?
Well, you took good care of me.
I made that homemade chicken soup.
I didn't say you didn't take care of me. I'm talking about me now, okay? But you took care of me. I give you that. I told you that before. You took good care of me. I have no problem with that. When you were sick, I took care of you. That's what we do. If you want to put it like that.
Did you make me chicken soup?
Well, look, I gave you soup. Did I give you chicken soup?
Canned chicken soup. I made homemade soup. Okay. And not only did I make it for you, after you got yourself together, I had to take that whole big pot of soup over to our children because that whole household was sick. And they said, Granny, that soup made me better.
Yeah, that's what happened with. I don't know what's in chicken soup, but chicken soup always make you better.
So anyway, just to say light because I'm telling you.
But Renee, you started talking about the COVID. People are still dying from this COVID.
Yes.
And what's happening is, we take it very light because not so many people now are wearing masks. We still wear our masks when we go out. However, I repeat, people are still dying from this COVID and the RST. We got young children that is being taken to the hospital now because they're coming down with RST, and it's the hospital is being filled up. The children wards are being filled up because of this. We got to be careful with our children and ourselves. you got to continue to wear that mask. You can't forget what is going on because I'm telling you that it's still are out here and we still getting sick. We still dying from this COVID and it mutates. See, that's the key right there. This COVID-19, it mutates to whatever it needs to do to attack our bodies. And what we're saying is, just be aware. Get your shots, get your vaccines. A lot of people say, well, I'm not going to get it because I got the COVID. Well, see, this is the other thing. People are still getting sick even though they've gotten the vaccine. However, they're not dying necessarily from the COVID. So this is what we were saying. The ones that mostly are dying are the ones that didn't get the vaccine, Renee.
Okay, so so all we're just saying is that we come out here once a week on Monday morning, 10 o'clock, and what happens is that we try to speak on as many things as we can to bring things to people's attention, and that it's up to you. I mean, to get vaccinated, not get vaccinated, get the flu shot, not get the flu shot. I do know that we do have some trips coming up at the end of this month, and I am going to get the flu shot because we're going to be in very close proximity to a lot of people. So, Calvin, whether you get the flu shot or not, I know that before I get on a ship, before I go down to South Carolina, I'm going to do what I need to do to protect myself.
Well, that's the other thing, and now just talk about our president. Yesterday he was down at El Paso at the border down there. And now a lot of people say, well, why hasn't he been down there? Well, now he's there, and what are they going to say about it now? What we need to do, I think.
Okay, we're getting ready to come for our first break. We'll be back here at Awesome Radio in a moment.
Fasten my hands with Dr. Mark Candy. Proverbs 27:6 says, faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. Is our real friends correct? Real friends get the truth in their lives so that we can see it ourselves. And that's what Proverbs chapter 1 is all about. It's warning them. This whole verse of showing them my reproof, they'll make known my mercy or pro to. This is the context is set up with funding.
Well, you're taller than I am today.
Bring your children.
I didn't hear you.
Relationships with people. If these people take advantage of the people,
They've got quite a few people watching this morning.
then turn.
Quite a few people that was up there this morning.
If we're willing to turn, he will pour out his spirit and make known his works to us. And then this is what will happen. Verse 26 through 28 talks about if you don't listen, destruction and anguish will come upon you. Verse 28, they will call upon me, but I will not answer. They will seek me early, but they shall not find me. For that day, verse 29, they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord. And the fear of the Lord is a very big topic in wisdom literature. Job, Psalm, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, those first four of the 5 books of the wisdom books, excluding Song of Solomon.
We have individuals that's talking to each other.
You've been listening to an excerpt of Fastened Like Nails, a presentation of Lamplighter Ministries. Our mission is to make ready a people prepared for the
Turn my speaker down so
Christ-like character, one story
too loud.
Your earphones, you mean?
Family collection of prayer books, dramatic audios, and video programs. Visit FastenedLikeNails.com. Awesome Radio 106.9 WPIS LP.
Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed in this program are solely those of any guests and speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views and beliefs of this station, Awesome Radio, its parent company, Community Care Fellowship, nor its affiliates and underwriters. Any questions, comments, or concerns regarding the content of this program should be directed to the host. This is a disclaimer.
Turn it down. And welcome back to News and Politics Today with Renee and Calvin Borston Hill. We are here at Awesome Radio 106.9 FM, WBISLP. And our telephone number, should you, because there's a lot of chatter out there, I see, Calvin. Why don't you call in at 252-756-2008? We got people from Virginia, New York, Long Island, having a lot of conversation. They're saying they've had the flu, they're feeling better. And I got Irvin, I got Donna, I got Dee, and I'm so happy, they're listening today, Calvin.
Yeah, how about that? They're listening today because I wasn't here last week, so they're out there this week.
So they're supporting, and just so that you can see what they have to say. Irvin, he starts out with, why are they allowing this recklessness? Because they like the confusion, Irvin. But we don't have to sit here and just let it happen, because again, like I said, get a copy of the Constitution and we will get rid of these people, because they are insurrectionists. They are people who actually tried to overthrow the government, and it didn't happen. But that was just a trial run, Calvin. What's going to happen when they realize that this McCarthy guy is nothing but a piece of trash?
Well, let's not call them names. Let's not call them names.
Okay.
But however, the United States is supposed to be a leader in the world, of politics, and other things. And now if you look at Brazil, I'm just going to put this out there, they did the same thing that over there over the weekend that these insurrectionists did here on January 6th a couple of years ago. So they are following what the United States is doing. They say, well, if the United States can throw their president, not get him elected, then we can throw ours out. And they had a lot of stuff going on over there over the weekend. So what we want to say today, though, is that we got to stay woke, And what I mean by staying woke, you got to see with that third eye, Renee, and listen with that third ear, because a lot of times what happens is we don't, comprehend what we hear right then and there, but later on we think about it and now it comes back to us. And that's where that third ear comes into play, because you have to listen very carefully sometimes what people say, because what they always say, not always, but a lot of times, Renee, what they say, they say it in code, and then you have to listen and break that code down.
Yeah, and they keep saying, well, we don't need no wokeness. We are going to fight against wokeness. Well, I say, people, we better stay awake, because if we decide that we are going to sleep, don't know. God only knows what's going to happen, And the thing also is that wokeness, being awake, being aware, is only something that's that works for the country. Okay, and that they want us to be asleep so they can do whatever they want to do. And no, we're not letting them do whatever they want to do, because we are going to stay involved, engaged, and aware. Well, and being aware, okay, is like listening to this craziness that be going on the TV. Can I say the word crazy?
Yeah, you can say the word crazy.
Listening to the craziness, and then I don't know, Calvin. Go ahead.
We see that's the same thing. Look, what did someone say here? Yes, Brazil. And the sun came to Mar-a-Lago. Exactly. So that's what's going on. It's so many different things. And if you see what our listener audience, you see what's being put up, Renee. It's good that you're putting that up, because we're letting people see what other people are thinking. Not just what we're saying, but what other people are thinking. It makes a big difference out there. But again, if you want to call and be part of the conversation, you can also do that, which is 252-756-2008.
Yeah, and the thing also is that we are here, okay, and it was just a very long week, okay, because it was like 3 days before they finally got a speaker. And then we know that now that the speakers are in there, now they are being put in what are these things called, Calvin? They're committees. They're getting, and they're putting these people in charge of committees. Okay. And they're also putting people, number one, who get to bring bills to the floor and say what bills will come to the floor. And we do know, okay, that they are so involved in overturning what has happened for the past 2 years that have advanced us. And they have no interest in helping the people, helping us in terms of like doing things that are going to help and benefit the people. They're going to do everything. And the people who they hurt, it's just like, what's it, Manchin is representing one of the poorest states, West Virginia. And he has no interest in making and voting for things that are going to help them or help the people. And that's what it is. The government is supposed to be for the people, about the people, and they're doing everything they can not to make that happen.
Well, and that's I have no worries on that, Renee, because what is going on right there in Long Island, where you got this individual, George Santos, everything about him is a lie. He lied. How could someone lie on their mother? That means that this individual have no heart. He have no remorse on nothing. He just want to get in office no matter what. Now he's in office, and now he's kissing the ring of McCarthy. Because McCarthy haven't done anything, haven't said anything negative about this individual. He just lied. So what's going to happen? He got sworn in. He's going to get sworn in. And I think, again, this is my opinion only, that he should resign or call for a vote for him to step down.
But then by the time we get rid of all the insurrectionists, okay, and again, the Constitution allows us and gives us the path to get rid of the people who would not certify the election, okay, all those insurrectionists that were actually there on January the 6th, 2 years ago, to try to overthrow the government. And we need to make sure that we have to be careful, because now these people have been sworn in again. They've been placed in key positions, and they are not abiding by the actual Constitution that was put in place in order to prevent these things from happening. The Constitution, get a copy of the Constitution, and let us make sure that the people who are put in place in this government, they abide by it. And if they don't abide by it, they need to be removed from this government.
Well, you see, this is the thing, Renee, because, in Santos district, reaction to brazen lies, are mixed. What I mean by that, you got people that want him to stay in office. And then you have people that want him to get out of office. So it doesn't matter. People, they think, well, all politicians lie. Well, I said, all politicians don't lie. They might stretch the truth a little bit, but when you just come out and out lie, about everything about you, then another thing just crossed my mind, Renee. What about the money that he have? I think that needs to be investigated. He went from being almost homeless to now hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. He had to borrow $100,000 for his committee. His campaign. So where all this money coming from? So I always say, when people give you big chunks of money, they want something in return. Nobody gives you a lot of money for nothing. They want something in return. So now once you get in office, we just see what happened now.
All right. So, well, Calvin, all I could say is that we have to continue to elevate and to educate and just make awareness of what's going on in this government. Sometimes some people, they don't even hear, okay, this conversation that we're speaking on. And again, it's not necessarily the voice of Awesome Radio. It's our conversation. And we are coming up for another break. This is a fast show again today.
To WBISLP 106.9 FM, Awesome Radio.
I never be days. What problems do you keep to yourself? Which ones do you share? I puzzle over this reading Galatians 6. Paul tells us to carry each other's burdens and carry our own load. Contradictory? Not really. Burden means a load so heavy it's king-sized. Load means something like a soldier's backpack that can't be shared. Our challenge is to determine the difference. Alcoholics Anonymous is a team that helps individuals with their burden of addiction. Some load-sized problems we must carry alone. Sharing them would damage others or interfere with us developing a tenacious dependence on God and God alone. Take comfort from the reality that whatever the burden or load, it's not unique to us. Others have overcome it because God takes on both.
This feature at WebConnection.com.
Disclaimer: the views and opinions expressed in this program are solely those of the host, any guests, and speakers, and do not necessarily reflect the views and beliefs of this station, Awesome Radio, its parent company, Community Care Fellowship, nor its affiliates and underwriters. Any questions, comments, or concerns regarding the content of this program should be directed to the host. This is a disclaimer.
And welcome back to News and Politics Today with Renee and Calvin Borston Hill. We are here at Awesome Radio 106.9 FM WBISLP.
You know, Renee, I just want to say this right quick. You know, I'm looking at, our people that's watching us, the comments, and they are definitely on the case, not on the case, but, I say they listen to the news and they follow us.
Yes, we do. Okay. And we want to thank them. And anyone who wants to call in at 252-756-2008. This is our last segment, 2008. And this is our last segment so that, we understand the frustration. Okay. And that's why people are listening and chiming in today, because you cannot just sit there and not have a voice, not have a way of expressing yourself. You have to have an outlet, and we're that outlet for a lot of people. And again, we have to understand that 2 years ago, in 2006, when they did that insurrection, I was startled. I was looking at it on TV, and I could not believe it that this was actually happening. And here, these people are still representatives. They are still, well, we got rid of Madison Cawthorn. We don't know where he's going to pop up, but they always have another outlet. And we have people like Representative Richard Hudson, who's from Fayetteville. Okay, we have people, and then we have to be careful also, Calvin, because right now, they've managed now to infiltrate the police. But we always knew the police were not for us.
Right.
Okay. But the military, the FBI, the Secret Service, they have managed to infiltrate all of these systems so that any way that they can now, that the powers or the people who you think are put in place to protect, they're not protectors.
Well, you see, that's the thing. What is it you always say, Renee? Where can you be black and be safe in America? I probably have that saying mixed up there, but that's something that we have to be on the watch for all the time.
Okay, and then we have to make sure that we have the rule package that the repugs, now that they're in charge of the House, they're coming out with a rule package. And we have to pay attention to that rule package. And if it's not something that we want, No, they have to use the 5 caller apps. We use our 5 caller apps because our representatives in the Senate and one in the House is a Democrat, one is a Republican, but it doesn't matter. Our voices need to be heard, and we have to use the 5 caller apps to call the representatives to let them know how we feel. We cannot just sit down and just say, okay, thank you, job well done. It's not going to be a job well done because it's not going to be anything in our favor. And you're going to say, how do I know that? Because they have already said it, and they've already done it. They've already showed us what exactly their intentions are.
Well, and that's the thing. You hit that right on the head, Renee. When these Republicans tell you that they're going to do something, believe what they say because they're going to do their best to do. Now, just remember, they want to privatize Social Security. Just think about that. Privatizing Social Security. I mean, it won't affect me. However, it will affect my grandchildren. It might even affect my children when they retire. But it's going to affect not only the Democrats. It's going to affect the Republicans as well. But see, people don't think about that. They think about, well, it's not going to affect me. It will affect you. They want to privatize so many things, and we got that. You said, what's that word you said? Stay woke.
Yes, and then also they have all these insurance plans coming out, and people are not. They're saying, oh, well, if you get this this plan, you're going to get dental, you're going to get vision, but then there's Part C of Medicare, but this Medicare Advantage is private insurance, and what they need to do is take away that name Medicare off of that, because what's happening is that they need to call it what it is: private adult insurance. And okay, and the whole thing also is that not only are they looking to privatize Medicare, and so many people are being sucked into a plan that they have no idea, and this plan is telling them what they're going to cover and what they're not going to cover. So that if you have a pre-existing condition and you sign up with this private Medicare Advantage plan, all right, you're not going to get the proper coverage that if it was just for Medicare. So, I mean, there's so much stuff going on. So, and what they need to do is pay attention to this rule package that McCarthy is going to be introducing. It'll probably be the last thing he'll be able to talk about, because after that, they're going to just completely make him quiet. We have to worry, and then we have to worry about the debt ceiling. Okay, we have to pay our bills, and if we don't raise debt ceiling, then we're not going to be able to meet our bills, and that's something that they're going to want to hold over us.
Well, you see, the debt ceiling, people don't understand. It's not about bills that you're going to pay for in the future. The debt ceiling bill, that is to pay for the bill, for the instruments of whatever bill we owe now. So we need to pay the bill for now, and then we can talk about the future bills. But the debt ceiling, we need to pay, Renee, for the bills that we have incoming now.
Yes, that's well, and if they don't, and number one, there's a budget there, and if the budget and the money is not enough, then they need to increase that, and that's where the debt ceiling is going to. And if they don't do that, that can have an effect on people's Social Security, disability, the paying, giving us our money every month.
Yeah, put this up, Renee, so our awesome radio listeners can see what someone just wrote in. Because that right there tells you, what is going on. And our partners, when I say our partners, I'm talking about our partners that's out there listening to us. They're commenting, and we want you to see the comment. They might not call in, but they're definitely writing today.
Okay, well, we can read it too. The Repugs never said how they will help Americans, but all a petty agenda. Their partners are running those plans and making tons of money. So the people that are giving them money, it's just like how we have the gun control people, we have the drug control people. There are so many people that when we send legislators to represent us, we vote them in. They tell us they're going to do X, Y, and Z. However, the funneling of money to these legislators is what's setting the agenda for how this country is being run.
Well, you hit it right. That's it. The money, it's all about the money and who can get the most money, and that's what we're saying. Unfortunately, we need to experience real pain to correct this nonsense, and that again comes from Urban out there. Urban is hot today. And D, he's on it too. Donna, they're all communicating out there this morning.
Yeah, and the thing is that we appreciate now that, because see, when people are comfortable in life, all right, then they have no complaints. However, all right, the uncomfortability, okay, or the seriousness of this country, and how we have people who are still in the government that participated in the insurrection. And again, the Constitution says that anybody who tries to take over the government should not be in the government. And so we need to adhere at least to part of this, if not all of the Constitution, because when it came to us being 3/5 of the people,
Right.
and they had that in the Constitution, they had no problem in talking and dealing with that. So I'm just saying, I don't know. I have to make it through
I know, Renee.
I have to make it through the week.
But the thing, what we're saying to our Author Radio listeners out there, is that you send people to Congress, you send people to the Senate, and once they get there, then what are the first thing they start doing? They start trying to get money for the next election. That's what they do, And now you got some people, not all, but you got some people that they are going there and working for the people, for the individuals that sent them there. But so many times, what happened is, they want to just get the money, follow the money. And that's what you always say, Renee, follow the money.
Yes, because if we follow the money, okay, and we go and we start investigating these legislators, okay, that we put there in office, and they beg us, oh, please elect us. We're going to do such great work for you. We're going to do such great things. And then all of a sudden, now they got the money. Okay, now we got the drug people, and we're going to see what happens now with the drugs, because now that they are capping insulin, and these people who had to travel to Canada, to other countries to get their insulin because they could not afford it or not take it at all. You have so many people. I mean, and now, so we're going to have to follow the drug companies because now they're going to get a cap. And then you have the people who were elected or got their election money or their campaign money from the drug companies, or they got their campaign money from the gun companies, all these big industries, okay? And we need to follow the money, okay?
Well, Renee, and you talk about following the money. Money, is what it's all about. But however, let's go back to Biden a little bit, because he has done quite a bit since he's been in office. Now, for individuals that are diabetics, think about that, how much money that costs you per month, for your medicine. But now he put a cap on it. $35 is the cap. So that's a big difference, Renee.
It's a big difference, because some people couldn't even get it, okay, because they couldn't afford it.
Right.
All right. And how, when you're living and you're on these and the whole thing is, why are they hooking us on these drugs? I couldn't even get my diabetic medicine, Ozempic, because now they found out that Ozempic helps people to lose weight. So people who aren't even diabetics, and why did they give me this Ozempic, and then now I can't get access to it?
Right.
Okay. Why are they putting us on these drugs, and then when I go to get it, I can't get it because it's not on the shelf? I mean, so I want to know about these drugs, Calvin,
Well,
because as old people, and then the whole thing is that if I don't take my Ozempic shot, okay, what happens to my diabetes?
Right.
You know, so I mean, and I want to know, why do we go to the doctors and then you see coming into the office are these little people with these little black suitcases giving them sample drugs to give us these sample drugs to get us hooked onto this stuff, and then now we can't get access to it, or if we can't afford it, because now we have to you do these co-pays, and half our money that we're living off of on fixed incomes are going to drugs.
Well, see, that's why it's so important that we
Oh,
follow up, and stay, again, I use the term stay woke, because, when you are on a fixed income, well, the fixed income, doesn't always match your way of living, because you might get, say, I just use, say, $1,000 a month from Social Security. If that's all you get, then you're going to be in trouble when it comes to your medication, because they take Medicare out of that. They need, to just be very careful here and stay tuned, because we are going to be right back next Monday with more on this topic.
Oh, we're gonna have this will be our subject matters for the next year, because it's crazy what's going on in this country and how they think, well, okay, you don't have to say anything. But meanwhile, we have legislators in office. We have people newly sworn in who begged for us to elect them. They begged for to support them. Okay, and now they are there, and what are they doing? What are they going to do about the craziness in this country? What are they going to do?
Well, that's what we're talking about, Renee. What are they going to do? Because we want to make sure that we give our Awesome Radio listeners, the information. Now, it's up to you to use information, but we going to give it to you.
And the thing is that I wish I was making this up. I'm telling you about my life. I'm telling you about our life.
Right.
I'm telling you how we worked hard all these years. We are now retired people, and now we're on a fixed income, but our money is being sucked away because these people who we put in office to represent us are not representing us. And the craziness that we had to look at last week with this guy voting 15 times to get him and then to give away. And who is he representing? Who is McCarthy representing?
Trump. One word, Trump.
It's crazy. It's crazy, because I'm trying to figure this out. We're traveling, and I need to have my diabetic medicine before I get on the ship. And they're telling me, oh, well, we don't have any. And then they telling me that the doctors it's running off the chart, because the doctors, my diabetic medicine is now being used as a weight control.
Right. Which is more important? I'd say is it more important to give it to someone that wants to lose weight, or is it more important to give someone because they need it for their diabetes?
And it hooked me on it. It hooked me on this medicine. I've been taking it for years. Now all of a sudden I don't have access to it.
Right.
Or they hooked me on to my blood pressure medicine. Oh, you got high blood pressure. Take this medicine. The people walking into the doctor's office with their suitcases, giving them samples of the drugs.
That's what they do. And then the doctor gives you a sample, and they say this is a prescription for it.
Yeah. And I can't get access to it. I mean.
But anyway, that's enough about our personal life, Renee. Let's move on.
Okay, we're going to move on. Again, get the Constitution, because we need to make sure that these representatives who were part of the insurrection, they get removed. Big farm dollars. Erica, I have to say you're on it today. I'm so glad you're listening to the show, because really, where's our voice? Where's our voice?
Right. That's the thing. But our voice is out there. You'd be surprised how many people listen to it.
Yeah, Donna's saying big farm dollars. That's right. The doctors get a kickback in prescribing based on a zip code. They purposely put us on these drugs You see the pharmaceutical representatives walking into the doctor's office, and sometimes the doctor can't even see us. We got to sit there and wait while the pharmaceutical convince them to give this new prescription out to us.
Right.
And then again we're hooked on the drug, and then we can't even get access to it. And then not only do they have access to the doctors, but they have access to our legislators. Okay, the people who we have sent to represent us, who are not representing us because they're getting the money.
Well, I don't know what else to say, Renee. I mean, you covered it so good, and that's the thing, our awesome radio listeners out there, are very faithful. They tune in every week to listen to our show. And you see what I said? I said our show.
Oh, finally. It is our show.
Because I always say Renee's show. See, this is why I made a point and recognized it just now. Because she is the host, and I always give her props, But then I realized last week that I was really missed.
That's right, and I was going to stay home and be sick today to give you a taste of your medicine, but I said I can't do that to my husband.
Well, I do it by myself pretty much once a month.
Oh, okay. Okay, So anyway, this is News and Politics Today with Renee and Calvin Boston Hill. We are happy to be back as a team today, and Donna is saying you were really missed. I said that, Donna. You don't have to say that. Okay, anyway, we'll be back next week. Awesome Radio 106.9 FM, News and Politics Today with Renee and Calvin.